Okay, a lot of times elementary school students have misconceptions while trying to figure out word problems. They are taught a lot of the time to look for key terms for addition and subtraction like more, less than, altogether. These can be confusing for the students. So today we're going to focus on what we know in the problem and see what is happening. Today both of our problems are going to be one for second grade and one for first grade. We'll be focusing on a join problem and separation model type. So let's look at our let's look at these definitions just for a quick review. So for a join model type, it's when we're physically joining or putting things together. Separate is physically separating or removing things to find the result. The one thing that we really need to focus on while doing these model types is that there is a change. We need to look for the change. Okay, so let's look at our first problem. This would be for a second grade class, students. So let's see. This problem says, Jenny has 140 stamps in her collection. Lance gives her some more. She now has 165 stamps. How many did Lance give her? Okay, so let's look what we know and what's happening here in the problem. Jenny has 140 stamps. So we know that we're going to start with what Jenny has, which is 140 stamps. We're going to use our 10 blocks to see this in a better model. This will be our representation model. So we'll show our 100 blocks for 100, 140. So we'll draw 4 of our 10 blocks. Okay, now it says Lance gives her some more. So we don't know how much he gave her. So we'll do a bubble up here for our change. And we'll just put a question mark for right now. So we know that we're going to be adding this change into what we started with to get our result. So that'll show us that we are going to be doing a join problem. So next thing we see on here is that she has 165 stamps in the end. So we know that for our result, she has 165. Using our tens blocks, we'll draw 100 flat, 6 10 blocks for the 60, and 5 units. So now that we have this set up, we go from 140 and we add however many stamps Lance gave her to get to 165. So the students can then see that we can simply do this by doing 165 minus 140. We can do this easier by looking at our blocks. So we have 165. We need to take 140 away. We need to subtract 140. So we will first subtract 100, then subtract 40. So we'll take 4 of our 10 blocks. And so we see that what we have left is 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 25 left. So we know that our change would be that Lance gave her 25 stamps so that her result was 165. Okay, so let's take a look at our next problem. Our next problem is going to be a separate problem for a first grade level student. It says, Jamie had 20 grapes. She gave some to Kelsey. She now has 12 grapes. How many did she give to Kelsey? All right, so let's see what's happening here. We see that Jamie started with 20 grapes. And in this problem, we're going to be using our linear model. So this time, we will do our start, which we know Jamie started with 20 grapes. And we know that she gave some to Kelsey. We don't know how much some is yet. So our change, right here, we'll leave it as a question mark. Next, we know her result was 12. She ended up with 12 grapes after she gave some to Kelsey. So we can look at this and we can see that she has 12 that we need to find out how many she gave away to Kelsey. So we can simply do that by doing 20 minus 12. We know that that will be 8. So we see that the change, how many grapes she gave to Kelsey? 8. And that this problem would be a separate problem because we are giving 8 of these grapes to Kelsey, and she ends with just the 12 grapes that she has left over.